Wow, the mystery of the vanishing Bloxels. The world of Robloxia was a tapestry woven from countless blocks, each pixel a promise of adventure, creativity, and endless possibility. And nestled within a valley carved by the meandering Cubic River lay Bloxburg Village, a place famed for its vibrant colors, bustling market, and its wonderfully eccentric Bloxel residents. Sunlight, rendered in perfect, sharp-edged rays, always seemed to shine brightest here, illuminating the cheerful blockhouses and the even cheerier faces of its inhabitants. Young Alex, a keen explorer whose blocky avatar sported a perpetually curious expression, loved Bloxburg more than any other corner of Robloxia. He appreciated the orderly rows of pixelated crops in the farmers' fields, the rhythmic clanging from the blacksmith's forge, and the sweet, comforting scent of freshly baked bread that wafted from the Blocky Baker's oven each morning. Bloxburg was a symphony of simple, happy sounds. One crisp, clear morning, the familiar aroma of rising dough was conspicuously absent. Alex, already up and about, noticed a strange quiet around the baker's bright red cottage. No smoke curled from the chimney, no cheerful humming emanated from within. The Blocky Baker, a rotund figure known for his perpetually flour-dusted apron and booming laugh, was nowhere to be seen. Alex felt a tiny, unblocky tremor of unease. Perhaps the baker was simply unwell, enjoying a rare day of rest. The next day, the silence was even more pronounced. The rhythmic tap-tap-tap of the Cubic Carpenter, a diligent Bloxel who could build anything from a tiny stool to a towering castle, was gone. His workshop doors stood ajar, a half-finished wooden toy abandoned on his workbench. Alex's unease deepened, transforming into a prickling sense of concern. He saw other villagers casting worried glances, their usually bright block faces creased with confusion. A whisper of disquiet seemed to ripple through the very air of Bloxburg. As the sun dipped below the blocky horizon, casting long, angular shadows across the village square, Alex watched the Pixel Postman, a speedy Bloxel with springy legs and a satchel always overflowing with messages, deliver his last letter. The postman waved a friendly, pixelated hand before vanishing around the corner of the Cubic Cafe. Alex waited, as he always did, for the sound of the postman's return, for his quick footsteps echoing through the quiet streets, but the sound never came. By dawn, Bloxburg Village was steeped in an unsettling hush. The vibrant marketplace lay mostly empty, the fields untended, the forge cold. The usual joyous cacophony of Bloxel life had dwindled to a few nervous murmurs. A chilling thought, as sharp and cold as an ice block, settled in Alex's mind. They weren't simply resting, or away. They were gone. And it wasn't just a few. It was a growing number, vanishing without a trace, leaving behind only the lingering scent of their daily lives. Alex knew, with a sudden surge of determined energy, that he had to find out why. He felt a unique responsibility, a calling to unravel this peculiar mystery. He began his investigation at the Blocky Baker's cottage, the first place the strange disappearances had started. Alex examined the ground carefully, searching for anything out of place. His keen eyes, always quick to spot a hidden pathway or secret treasure, finally caught something. A faint, almost invisible shimmer, like powdered starlight, dusted the cobblestones just outside the baker's door. It was subtle, easily missed by anyone not looking specifically for clues. He bent closer, his blocky finger reaching out to touch it. It felt cool, almost ethereal, and carried a faint, almost musical hum, like tiny chimes ringing just beyond hearing. He followed the glittering trail, which led away from the village towards the Whispering Woods, a place of tall, glowing trees and winding luminescent vines. The hum grew slightly louder, a curious, harmonious melody that seemed to resonate within his very being. The woods were known for their beauty, but also for their disorienting paths. The shimmering dust, however, served as his guide. The trail plunged him into a dense thicket of luminescent vines that shifted and writhed as if alive. This was the Maze of Luminescent Vines, a legendary challenge for any explorer. Each vine pulsed with soft light, creating confusing patterns that seemed to shift the path ahead. Alex had to rely on his intuition, sensing the direction of the hum, feeling the pull of the shimmering dust. He navigated through the glowing labyrinth, sometimes having to wait for a vine to move, or a glowing mushroom to appear, revealing a hidden passage. His heart thrummed with a mixture of excitement and urgency. Deep within the maze, tucked away beneath the root of an ancient glowing tree, Alex discovered a small, pulsating orb. It was about the size of his blocky fist, radiating a soft, warm light, like a trapped firefly. He hesitated for a moment, then reached out and gently touched its surface. As his finger connected, a fleeting, transparent image flickered within the orb. It was the Blocky Baker, looking bewildered but calm, floating gently inside a vast, sparkling chamber. He seemed to be looking out, not in fear, but with a strange, passive wonder. The image vanished as quickly as it appeared, leaving Alex with a surge of relief and 100 new questions. The Bloxels weren't hurt, but where were they, and how did they get there? The shimmering trail continued, leading him out of the woods into the edge of a vast gaping chasm. Across the void, a tiny Skyblock Bridge shimmered in the distance. This was notorious for its instability. The blocks that formed its path appeared and disappeared at irregular intervals. Alex knew he had to be nimble, anticipating the appearance of each new block, timing his jumps with precise, calculated movements. He focused, his mind racing, picturing each step before he took it. He leaped, landed, and leaped again, feeling the rush of air as blocks vanished behind him, only to reappear just in time for his next step. It was a dizzying, exhilarating crossing. On the other side, near an ancient moss-covered monument, almost swallowed by the overgrown terrain, he found another clue. A rolled-up parchment, oddly preserved, its edges glowing faintly. It was a forgotten scroll, covered in curious swirling glyphs and whimsical drawings. Alex unrolled it carefully. The drawings depicted a playful, ethereal creature, shimmering with light, reaching out with long, translucent arms to gather sparkling objects. The accompanying glyphs, though ancient, seemed to convey a story of a Glimmer-Gatherer, a being of pure light, known for its immense, childlike fascination with anything that glittered, shimmered, or pulsed with energy. And the Bloxels, with their bright, vibrant colors and cheerful auras, were surely the most shimmery beings in all of Robloxia. The pieces of the puzzle began to click into place. This wasn't a kidnapping. It was a very enthusiastic, very accidental collection. The scroll hinted at the Glimmer-Gatherer's lair, describing it as a colossal structure of intricately carved light blocks, half hidden by the highest clouds. Alex looked up, following the intensified hum, and saw it. A magnificent, crystalline citadel, impossibly beautiful, floating gently above the tallest peaks. With renewed determination, Alex scaled the treacherous glowing slopes, following the increasingly loud melodic hum that now vibrated through his entire body. He finally reached a massive archway of shimmering light blocks, which served as the entrance to the Glimmer-Gatherer's domain. Inside, the spectacle took his breath away. The vast chamber was a kaleidoscope of light and wonder. Hundreds, perhaps thousands, of collected objects floated gently in the air. Giant shimmering gems, exotic, glowing flowers, rare minerals, and suspended amongst them, in individual, transparent, bubbly spheres, were the Bloxburg villagers, the Blocky Baker, the Cubic Carpenter, the Pixel Postman, and so many others, floated peacefully, eyes wide with a gentle, detached wonder. They weren't scared, they were simply captivated, like children watching a beautiful light show. And at the very heart of the chamber, pulsating with pure, radiant energy, was the Glimmer-Gatherer itself. It was immense, a magnificent, multifaceted creature composed entirely of shimmering particles and soft, radiant light. It moved with an almost dreamlike grace, occasionally extending a translucent limb to gently nudge a floating object, or gaze with fascination at a particularly bright Bloxel. It was clear now. This was not malice, but simply an overwhelming, innocent fascination with things that sparkled. Alex looked back at the forgotten scroll. One final section of glyphs seemed to describe a song of unbinding, a specific sequence of light patterns and resonant frequencies that could safely release collected items. He recalled observing the Bloxburg villagers, the steady rhythm of the Cubic Carpenter's hammer, the precise, multicolored lights that flashed on the Blocky Baker's oven, the high-pitched whistle of the Pixel Postman's bike. These were all unique, vibrant energies unique to Bloxburg. He began to experiment. He tapped on nearby light blocks, trying to replicate the rhythmic thrum of the carpenter's work. He adjusted the intensity of some glowing crystals, mimicking the baker's oven lights. He even attempted to hum the postman's familiar tune. It took several tries, a series of failed light patterns and off-key hums that only caused the Glimmer-Gatherer to tilt its head in mild confusion. But Alex persevered, focusing his intention, remembering the heart of each Bloxel's unique spark. Finally, he stumbled upon the correct combination, a specific sequence of gentle taps on 3 different colored light blocks, followed by a resonant, low hum, and then a quick, bright flash of his own avatar's built-in light. The Song of Unbinding resonated through the chamber. The Glimmer-Gatherer pulsed, a wave of soft light rippling through its ethereal form. Then, slowly, gracefully, the bubbly spheres containing the Bloxels began to drift towards the chamber's exit. The Glimmer-Gatherer extended a long, shimmering arm, not to grasp, but to guide them gently. It seemed to understand, a quiet, knowing energy, passing between it and Alex. One by one, the Bloxburg villagers floated back down to their village, landing softly on the cobblestones. They stood there, dazed for a moment, their eyes still wide with the lingering wonder of their unexpected journey. Then, a collective murmur rose, a joyful, confused sound that swelled into a quiet celebration. Alex watched from above, a satisfied smile on his face. Bloxburg Village returned to its vibrant self, perhaps even more so. The Blocky Baker's bread smelled sweeter, the Cubic Carpenter's hammering sounded more robust, and the Pixel Postman's deliveries felt quicker. The villagers, now privy to the true nature of the disappearance, understood. They carried a new lightness, a subtle shimmer about them, having been briefly part of something magical and utterly unique. Alex, the quiet explorer, became a local legend. His keen observation and gentle persistence had saved Bloxburg not from danger, but from an overly enthusiastic collector. He learned that not all mysteries are malicious, and sometimes, the most peculiar events have the most innocent explanations. From that day forward, the Glimmer-Gatherer occasionally sent small, perfectly smooth, glowing pebbles to the edge of Bloxburg as gifts, learning that some things, even if wonderfully shimmery, are better appreciated from afar. And in Bloxburg, the Bloxels now cherished their unique, vibrant auras, understanding that their inner glow was a special part of who they were, a radiant beacon in the boundless blocky world of Robloxia